I was going with this little bowl moment. Who cares? Hi everyone. So I first of all have to apologize because the camera is clear across my living room. I'm experiencing some lens issues. I'm using my kit lens, and I've only had my camera for about a year. It's a Rebel T6i by Canon, and the lens will only focus if it's sort of zoomed all the way in at 55 millimeters. I have a 50 millimeter lens that I've been using and loving. I can't use it for video though because the motor has no silencer on it, so it sounds like throwing a cheese grater down metal stairs every time it focuses. But I can't focus without the camera, you know, being far enough to fit the frame that I want zoomed in. So I've had a few suggestions from people, but if you know like why this is happening, what I can do to fix it, I've scoured the internet, I've talked to people, I just don't know. I don't know whether to go get it cleaned or to call Canon or to replace it. So if you happen to have experienced a similar issue, please let me know. All of the ranting aside, welcome. We're doing April favorites today, or April products of the month. I can't remember what theme I decided to call it, but just stuff I've been using this month. It was my birthday month. My birthday was the 7th, so anything that I bought, I was like, well, it's just my birthday gift to myself, which we'll talk about what my actual birthday gift to myself was. But it's been a pretty good month. There's been lots of launches, lots of exciting things, lots of things that have been really, really good. So this is a juicy month, to say the least. As is tradition so far this year, let's talk about candles. So I got a new one from Catbird. As you know, I loved the Ghost Rose, and I still do. I probably have 2 or 3 hours left of burning time, and I really will be repurchasing sometime in the future, but I wanted to kind of give some of their other scents a try. And this is Neighbor's Fig Tree, and I picked another candle up because they were giving 10% off for your birthday, which is amazing. So this is described as having fig leaves, dandelion, and cedar. It's beautiful. It's much less like pulpy and fleshy than other fig scents. Like if you've smelled Womanity by Mugler, obviously you know that's completely different from just a traditional fig, but this has more tartness to it, I'd say. And like a creamy tartness. I think Catbird candles are a steal because the scents are quite unique and they really throw the scent quite far. I get really a nice even burn every time, you know, when I trim the wick properly. And they look beautiful. You can repurpose the glass. These are $39, which for a candle that is this quality, to me is a steal. Let's go ahead and jump in with things that launched this month that I've been using and really liking. The first, well, let's talk about these because these could go sort of hand in hand in a way. So Votary launched their Intense Night Oil, which is rosehip and retinoid. It's probably one of the most beautiful things that I've ever seen in my life. Let me actually go get the box. Why didn't I think about that? The box is also beautiful. It's got the their sort of signature graphic design. It's actually imprinted and like embossed in this. So what we've got is actually grapeseed oil base. It's a grapeseed, apricot, avocado, sunflower, and we've got rosehip, tomato. So this is using hydroxypinaclone retinoid, which seems to be everyone's favorite retinol these days, or retinoid these days. Obviously Sunday Riley is really known for using that retinoid. Kate Somerville's Dermal Quench has that. I believe the new retinoids that are coming out from like Peter Thomas Roth and Dr. Brand and stuff are using that as well. The nice thing about it though is quite gentle but quite effective. So if I'm being very honest, I've only used this 3 times. The first time I used it though, the following morning, my friend Bella said, "Your skin looks really good today." That was a sign, that was the first sign. And then the second time I used it, I woke up in my skin, I was like, I noticed that I had a little bit more clarity. And then I used it last night, and when I was washing my face in the shower this morning and shaving, I was feeling my forehead and it just felt so firm. And like even after I got out of the shower and I was feeling my skin, it just felt so firm. This reminds me a lot of La Belle Lune as far as scent and consistency and color, because this is also a rosehip based oil. This doesn't have the retinoid in it though, so if you want a nighttime oil and you're more sensitive to retinoids, you might get along well with this. But to me, this sort of, if I have to put it in a box, It's sort of like if Luna and La Belle Lune had a child, because it's got that, it's avocado, grape, and then it's got the rosehip and the lavender, then it's got the retinoid from Luna. So a little test to put it through, but so far I'm really loving it, and I'm not surprised because every Votary product I've used I've really, really, really enjoyed, especially their oils. I find like, you know, that's what I think of when I think of Votary, is just oils, and they do them really well. So, and thank you to Arabella and her team for sending this over. I'm really fortunate and thankful. Jordan Samuel also launched an oil with, he actually used regular retinol, not regular retinol, but retinol, and it's his étOILe formula. He's removed the vitamin C and added in the retinol. Now, this is yet another reason why I really respect and admire Jordan from a brand standpoint. His is 0.25%. So what that means is it's a lower strength, so you can use it more frequently, and you're much less likely to experience really extreme negative kind of kickback from it. You can use this in the morning as long as you pair it with SPF, as is labeled on the package, but I've been using it mainly at night. I like the étOILe formula as it stands, so the fact that this now has retinol in it, just to sort of switch things up. If I want a very simple oil and a very just practical oil, I think that's what étOILe is, but just with a little bit of, you know, a boost, this is really, really great. I think this is a really fantastic entry-level retinoid, because for people who don't want to, like, you know, put it in their calendar, like when I should use my retinol products, this would be a nice thing, because you could use it quite consistently without thinking too much about it, get the results, but get very little kickback. And then when you're ready to graduate onto a stronger retinoid to work in with your ritual, then you can do that. So, genius. Thank you to Jordan for sending that as well. My birthday gift to myself. So I purchased my first Jo Malone fragrance. Jo Malone is a line that I've admired for a long time, and I've always had little sample vials that I've sort of played with. And the hardest part for me with Jo Malone is I like all of them. And the fact that they encourage layering and kind of cocktailing so you can make your own scent, I think is fantastic, because it really puts a lot of creative control in your hands. But with that said, Blackberry Bay on its own is probably one of the most beautiful things that I've ever smelled in my entire life. And I just got goosebumps, like, thinking about how much I love the way this smells. There's the tartness of, like, blackberry juice, where it's slightly tart, slightly bitter, slightly bland. Blackberries are not the sweetest fruit in the world. Bay leaves, but not as green or sharp as I'm used to associating with bay leaves. There's almost like a cool, like, wet mintiness sort of at the end. But all in all, I think this is one of those things that you can just throw on to elevate your mood. It doesn't scream at anyone. It sits very close to the body. I get quite good wear out of it, especially if I spray it on areas where there's hair or on my clothes. And I went for the large size because I love it that much. And I picked mine up during the Sephora VIB sale, and that's all I bought because that's all I wanted, you know? So, and Jo Malone, it did come packaged in the Jo Malone packaging with the box, the ribbon, so I really admire and appreciate that. And I feel like they are so classic, and I like that they are refined and elegant. And I think that's what Jo Malone is to me. And I also love her candles, and I could just turn into an entire video about why I love Jo Malone, but obsessed with that. Farmacy launched their Greenscreen, and I just want to take this and chuck this across the room because it's too good to handle. Like, I'm like, it's too fantastic. I've never liked sunscreen. I don't want to use any other sunscreen, and I want to use this. And I think that's the sign of a good sunscreen, is a sunscreen you want to use. It's a 30. It is broad spectrum. It's got 2.4% titanium, 5.82% zinc. It doesn't feel like sunscreen. It doesn't smell like sunscreen. It doesn't look like sunscreen. It's beautiful under makeup. It's very lightweight, but not in a drying sense. It's hydrating, but not in a greasy sense. I'm just gonna massage it in so you can see. Now, I have quite fair skin, so I can't say from personal experience how it looks, you know, on deeper skins. From what I've heard, though, it's people have gotten on quite well with it, and even with some, you know, even though I do have light skin, some mineral-based sunscreens just tend to look ashy, but there isn't a difference. I can't see it, I can't feel it, I can't smell it. It helps to guard against free radicals emitted from smartphones and computers, blue light aging, which is accelerated photoaging. So it's not even something I'm thinking about, but the fact that this covers that, it's like, thank you guys for covering my ass. Also, I'm going to be going to a CEW luncheon with them. So insane to me because I'm sitting here on my couch in basketball shorts talking to my camera. I'm so honored, and I'm so thankful that they see something in me, and I really appreciate the friendship that I've built with everyone that I talk to from Farmacy. Jamie Mazer, PR firm, helps to represent them. Just everyone. I'm so thankful and I'm so excited. I will be posting pics and dirty deeds. Okay, so let's continue. Whyld skincare. Actually seen, right around the time they contacted me, I started to notice their stuff in some of my friends' posts. This is their Youth Activating Elixir. So this is an oil serum. The thing about it that's quite interesting is we've got marula, we've got phytosterol esters, we've got watermelon seed oil, we've got blackcurrant, sunflower, flower leaf vine extract, we've got pomegranate, neroli, rose, chia. Just a lot of really great oils, and it looks like a majority of them are certified organic or from wildcrafted farming. I was actually talking to Lauren, who's the founder and creator of Whyld, and she sent a really nice email over about, all about this elixir. So let me see what she says. It's fast absorbed because it's marula oil based. It's wildcrafted from a family-owned co-op in Africa. Oh, I apologize, it's 76, not 70. I can't decide whether I like using this more in the morning or at night. And to me, that's a sign of a really good oil serum because it means it's versatile. Now, not to say that, like with Labelle Lume, which I use as an oil serum personally, which is specifically intended for nighttime use, not that it's bad that it's, that's what it's intended for, but because this is, it's not intended for any specific day or night use, the fact that I like it for both, I think, says something. I also appreciate the fact that while it smells good, it's not strong. You know what I mean? Some people just don't like heavy scent in their products, and I respect that. Even though I'm like, does it smell good? It's a very, very neutral, slightly plant, slightly sweet, slightly rosy kind of scent. Sinks in beautifully. I actually found even when I didn't apply it to damp skin, it still absorbed really nicely the way an oil serum typically does, and left behind very little residue. So I actually went in with a cream on top and it was gorgeous. So as you guys know, I'm a Glossier rep now. Which is such a cool opportunity. I'm so just fortunate because I really admire and respect Glossier. And a lot of you guys have questions about their products a lot of the time, but I just hadn't really explored the range, as much as a lot of other people have. So as soon as I got some of the store credit, I picked up the Supers. Had the most curiosities behind them, and I have to say I really like them. What I will say is I think they're very different to the serums that I tend to gravitate. I think what these are really good at, are really good for, is if you haven't used a serum before and you want to kind of get into it, but you don't really know where to start, I would say get the kit. Because between these three, you've got Super Bounce, Super Glow, and Super Pure, you can pretty much do anything and address most concerns. So Super Bounce is hyaluronic and B5, and they actually use sodium hyaluronate, which I really appreciate. Super Glow is vitamin C and magnesium, and I want to talk about that in a moment. And then the Super Pure is niacinamide and zinc. Out of the three, I've used the Super Bounce the most because, I'm chronically dehydrated. And then Super Pure I use because I've been slightly breakout prone. And then Super Glow I've used the least, but on the days I have used it, it's been very nice. Super Glow is the thinnest, Super Pure is a little thicker, and Super Bounce is the thickest out of all of them. Not that it's thick though. They're all ½ an ounce, which I think is actually quite smart because it means you can sort of finish them before they go bad if you are alternating them. You can even mix them. I've actually found that mixing Bounce and Pure is really nice as well. So Super Glow is aminopropyl ascorbyl phosphate. Now I haven't seen that ingredient before. I don't have really any knowledge about it, but I'm imagining that they chose to use that because of its light and air stability, because this is a clear container. It also doesn't smell like ascorbic acid. I need to do more research on it before I can say anything for sure, but if any vitamin C is going to be good for the skin. It is going to be an antioxidant. You might notice a bit more glow, a bit more radiance, a bit more vibrancy. I haven't used it long enough to say one way or the other. But it could be a nice way to get into vitamin C serums because it's not grossly expensive. It's a small enough size that you can finish it before it expires, and it's just cute. I mean, they're so adorable, and they're very smart. Like, I can tell that they invested a lot in packaging because the base of the pipette actually, you hear that? Like, that's, or some really sturdy, not ceramic, but it almost could be. I don't know. So are they the most high performance, complicated, next level serums in the world? No, and I don't think they're intended to be. They are intended for you know, likely someone who hasn't used a serum before or who is confused by serums. I think that the kit is a really good value because you do save a couple bucks, but I think if I had to, gun to my head with the little experience that I have, I've only been using them for about a week and a half, I think Super Bounce is the one I like the most. But that would make sense because I'm just chronically too majority of it. I've been using the Odacité Synergie 4 mask. This is really cool. So it actually looks like very soft, almost like a less green version of Tiffany Blue on the skin when it's wet. They include an entire packet on just, you know, all the different ways you can mix this. There's different aspects to it that you can activate with certain, you know, added ingredients. The first is detox, which you know I don't like. I did a blog post about words that I will never use when talking about skincare because they're misinformed or they don't mean anything, and I just don't like that word at all. It'll be linked below, and all the other relevant links will be down below for you. But it's got activated charcoal and clay. Number 2 is peel with papaya enzymes and fruit acid. 3 is vitamin C and fruit enzymes, and 4 is probiotics and vitamin C. So I've only experimented with just water, and then the second time it was water and a little bit of oil. Honey, you can use, you know, papaya. You could technically have just this mask and do a lot of different things with this, a lot of different things with it, which I think is really smart. But on its own, just with water, I found that I got extreme softness, more softness than I normally get with a clay mask, which is either probably attributed to the enzymes or the probiotics or all of them together. No tightness, no dryness, no discomfort, but I did notice a reduction in pore size after I used it, or at least they look smaller, and extreme softness. Extreme softness. So I'm excited to continue playing with that. And thank you to Odacité for sending it over, and Mo. Next, we got another mask. So this is Bateman skincare, which is in fact inspired by American Psycho, so automatically I'm like, yes. Yes. This is the Zinc and Clay mask. So, and they say for a deep cleanse, it is deionized water, zinc, titanium, cetyl alcohol, glycerostearate, blah, 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 sulfur, camphor, salicylic acid, bentonite. So I love zinc oxide as an ingredient, especially as a sunscreen ingredient, and the reason why I like it as a sunscreen ingredient so much is because it's so anti-inflammatory. So if you tend to be more sensitive, it's usually the ingredient to look for in sunscreens. I rarely find it used in non-sunscreen products, despite the fact that it does have super soothing qualities. That's exactly what it did. It soothed the skin. Paired with a clay, I found I did get a deep cleanse. One of my favorite parts was that there's like a camphor kind of like tingle, which I love. It's that very medicinal camphor smell. And as much as it looks and feels like sunscreen, like heavy sunscreen cream, it doesn't look and feel like sunscreen cream, if that makes sense. It spreads quite easily. Initially starting out, yeah, it's gonna look like sunscreen, but it feels a lot more emollient than I find most sunscreens do, and as it sort of blends over the skin, it has sort of an even opacity. And beyond that, it doesn't cling to the skin when you're trying to remove it. It's one of the easiest masks to remove that I've used in a long time. Actually, the Odacité was really easy to remove as well, but it was really nice, and I've used it a couple times. I did find I got a lot of clarity, but especially that soothing factor, and I think that's really important just in general. So I've been really liking that. I like that on the bottom it says, "I think my mask of sanity is about to slip." I'm like, God bless, I want to go watch that film for the millionth time. Obsessed. I'm gonna go wipe my hands. I've also rediscovered how much I love Jane Scribner's Over Oil Cream. It's for use after an oil, and it's literally perfect for that. So, and it smells like just fresh rose water. Hydrated skin without the shine. Yep. Hopefully I'm not forgetting. Oh, last but not least. So Liz Alaska on Instagram, told me about the Cle de Peau Concealer, and I believe Passport Beauty also uses this. So I actually had a little sample blister pack thing. I love this so much, and I wanted to just show you really quick because I need concealer anyway. So I'm gonna go, this is just like the same formula, just in this little thing, but as soon as this sample is finished, I'm getting it, and I never thought I would want a $70 concealer before. And I'm doing this without a mirror. That's how shows you how easy it is. It forms to the skin but doesn't cling. You know what I mean? It wears really well throughout the day. It covers really easily. It's luminous but not like shimmery. Doesn't look like just like a highlighting pen. It covers in a way that looks real. The color beige actually suits me quite nicely, though I might want to play with some other colors just to be sure. And it's a cream, you know, stick concealer, and I never thought I would like a stick concealer as much as I do. But here we are, and as soon as, again, like I said, the sample's finished, that's what I'm getting. Look at that. I slept 8 hours, totally. So you'll probably see me next month with a new concealer. I will talk to you guys again very soon. Thank you so much for watching. And again, everything will be linked below, including blog posts, links, product links, so you can visit the product page, learn more about it, and purchase and that sort of thing. And I will talk to you guys again very soon. Bye.